We're so glad you're all joining us. Nice to see you. Good evening and welcome. We're at the Wisconsin Writers Association annual membership meeting and social. We're really glad that you've been part of our community and very glad that you're here. I always like to start by asking you to put in the chat where you're at. Where are you zooming in from? Tell me what town or city, or if you're out of Wisconsin, tell us that too. It's always fun to see where everybody is. Ooh, there's Winona, Minnesota.
Yay.
All right. Well, our intention tonight is to celebrate what we accomplished together in 2025, to celebrate the writers that we were able to support and to share what some of our plans are for the coming year. This meeting is a bylaw requirement, but of course, it's also much more than that. It's our chance to kind of pause and take stock and remember that we are a living, breathing community, and our job is to support our members, and everything that we do is shaped by our membership and by the people in this room. So thank you for being here. Um, Ken, do we have poll questions?
We do have poll questions. You want me to fill up the first one?
Yeah, let's throw up the first one. We're giving you a little bit of interactivity tonight. So if you want to participate in these polls, feel free to do so. All right. I like to start off with this question because we are very much a volunteer-run organization. And it is always surprising to me how many people within our membership have actually done some sort of thing to kind of give back to the group. And so we'll kick it off with a question about our volunteers. Ken, remind me, how long do we keep it open?
Like for 3 more minutes. Got almost everybody
So
answered
our
already. So
Wonderful. Thank you. You can let us know when we've got the results. So we are always only as strong as our members, and engagement looks different for everybody, especially depending on where you're at in your writing career, whether you're attending events or submitting work or volunteering or just showing up and cheering each other on. All of those things are good. Krista, when you're ready, we're going to turn it over to you to share a little bit about our mission and vision.
I'm muted. So one of the things that volunteers within the Wisconsin Writers Association have done over the past few years is develop a vision and mission for the organization and values. So I'm going to share those with you. One of the things that is especially valuable about our organization is that it set out to be a supportive community of writers, and it doesn't matter what stage you are in your writing career. You could be just starting out, or you could have published 10, 20, 50 books. But we're a supportive community and also provide educational programs throughout the year so you can learn and develop your craft and connect with other writers. And this is all part of our mission and or the vision. And of course, all of that culminates in the fall conference. We're going to hear more about that tonight. And we also celebrate our members. And how do we do that? By giving you opportunities to publish and also win awards. So that's a little bit about the mission. And of course, our overarching vision is to provide resources and community building opportunities to help writers achieve their literary goals. So we're really in this together. And that's why we are meeting with you. That's why we get together. That's why we do programming. And part of what we'll do tonight is find out what else you really want from this organization so that it is your organization, your writers' organization. So that just touches on the vision and mission. And then the values, we really value inclusivity, inclusiveness. We welcome all writers at all levels of their career. And there's the mission and vision. And then the values, which I'm talking about now. Yeah, and the other thing is we're a generous organization. We have resources, and we also invite you to be generous with your time and your expertise. So we are a community of resources. We share each other's knowledge, we pick our brains, we support each other. And so that creates just an incredibly encouraging community that allows us all to pursue our goals, our literary goals. And the last part is just we value learning. No matter how long you've been at this, you can always learn more. And so we're always providing opportunities to learn. And we have such a rich community that we can draw from the knowledge and skills of our community. So that touches on the vision and mission. I am going to put a link to that in the chat in case you want to read those later after we're done with these slides. And also, of course, you can explore the rest of the website as well. But there is a link to the vision, mission, and values.
All right. Thank you so much, Krista. Krista helped us put together these slides, pretty much not helped us, pretty much put together the slides for this evening as well. So thank you for that. Our mission is really important to us and really guides everything that we do. And so as you're looking tonight, feel free to see if you find that to be true about us as well. We have our results for the first poll question. And for tonight's guest, 39% of people have volunteered an hour or more of their time to WWA, and 61% had answered not yet. Of course, we only gave you those choices, yes and not yet. And again, nothing to do with guilt. It's about just sort of understanding and appreciating the way this lovely Writers Association kind of functions and the way people help each other out. All right. On to slide 5, please, Ken. All right. We are so happy to take a minute to honor Barry Whiteman. Barry's time on the board finished at the end of 2025, and we wanted to really just show how much we appreciate his leadership. What you're seeing on the screen here is just some quotes from some of the people that worked close with him, writers, board members. If you, as I'm sharing a little bit about Barry, if you have particular memories or things about Barry that you want to share, feel free to throw those in the chat as well as we are celebrating him. So the WWA that many of us know today really does carry his imprint. He created spaces and more spaces for people to feel welcome and encouraged and supported. We took a lot of steps toward long-term strength. So one of the things he did was he established that vision team. So those mission, vision, and values that you just heard about was something that he instituted by putting together a team to flesh those out. He created the director of operations role. Hi, Ken, which everybody knows because Ken, we can't do anything without Ken, right? But that helps helps our organization meet more writers, consistently through online platforms, which we weren't really doing to quite this extent before. And of course, he survived. He led us through the COVID years. And as I always like to say, he brought a lot of rigor to the behind the scenes stuff like bylaws and budgets and governance, which is kind of quiet and boring and unappreciated, but it's the very foundation that lets us continue. And so all of those things are really appreciated, and we're very happy to celebrate Barry tonight and to thank him. WWA is most certainly stronger because of you, sir. Thank you. And look at all those lovely comments in the chat. Yay. Thank you for the kudos to Barry. I really appreciate it. Barry, you want to say something? I see you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I did. Well, you guys are terribly kind to bring it all up and go back and reminisce and all that stuff. But when I became the president in fall of 2018, holy smoke. Um, uh, it, I don't know, I just kind of knew what we ought to do, and that was to have more stuff going on. And so we went on the road and started doing events way the heck up in northwestern Wisconsin, up in Superior, and all the other points of the compass. And over time, we were starting to make things happen. And then the pandemic happened. Holy smoke! And we went to Zoom, and that was a whole big deal in April of 2020. And But it was great because it was like everybody who attended our fairly regular Zooms, it was like, hey, this feels good. It's like at those dark, strange times, it was very comforting and good for the soul. And we had readings and open mics and stuff like that. And we'd never done stuff like that, but it was the right thing to do, and we lucked out. And over the next few years, we did pretty well, and membership went up and all that. And okay, and it wasn't just me; it was everybody who was on the board at the time, and it was it was just the right thing, and it was great that it happened, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And thank you so much for all your support. Yeah, truly, I mean it. Yeah,
All right. Thank you, my friend.
you bet.
Before we move on, I also want to recognize Nick Charkis and Russ Klingeman, who both concluded their service on the WWA board in 2025 as well. Nick served on the conference committee. He also helped Ken and I with the podcast. He was on that committee for a while and was always a wise voice in our leadership. And of course, Russ used his legal skills to help us rewrite and modernize our bylaws, and also worked on that vision committee that I mentioned. So big thanks to Nick and Russ as well. All right, onward. So, what you are about to hear tonight is a snapshot of how WWA brings its mission to life. Each of our programs support writers at different stages, and we look at craft and community and publishing, professional growth, all of it. And another note is that all of the programs that you're going to hear about basically began the same way. A WWA member had an idea and brought it forward and helped make it happen. Everything that we do is very bottoms up, not so much top down. And so if you're listening and you think that you have a good idea for, maybe you're a presenter or educator yourself and you might want to, pitch a program or a workshop idea, we would love to hear it. If you're more in an earlier stage and you're still learning the craft of writing, notice what speaks to you where you are right now as a writer tonight, what you might want to grow into next. And always, always, we'd love to hear your ideas. You can always email us at hello@wiwrite.org. I'll put that in the chat so you can copy paste it if you want. But in the meantime, we're going to kick it off with the next slide, and Lori is going to share a little bit about our critique groups.
Next slide. Yes. First, thank you, Barry. Thank you, Luella. Thank you, Ken, and the board, my fellow board members, and to everyone here. I see some familiar faces in the group. Those of you, there's going to be a question here in the moment. Have you participated in the critique groups? I see many faces that have, and that have done so over and over, which is wonderful. I want to say we started this in January of 23. So we are beginning our 4th year. We just started here in January of 26. Is that right? Yeah. Anyway, we started with fiction, nonfiction, and that was it. And the success of starting with just the two to kind of see what was going to happen was overwhelming. It sold out right away. So we decided, let's keep going. So we went for that year. We added poetry, we added other instructors, and we kept going, so that by the time we've arrived at last year, we had additional poetry and fiction instructors, and we introduced advanced fiction, which has been very popular. And just this January, the memoir writing. So it's evolving. The program is evolving, and I see a lot of people return. Others will take a break and then come back. Typically, we offer these 3 times a year: the January to March, March to May. Take the summer away and come back September to December. So keep that in mind for anyone that wants to hasn't participated and wants to check these out, the next group, March to May, they are already available for you to register. So join us, return, start for the first time. We've seen groups continue. The groups start in one, at least I have. I think Lisa has also. We see the group working together and then they sign up for the next group together. And that's great. And some people are not able to because of scheduling and such, and so they'll come back the next time. All of that is great. Lots of new members this January. And so I would say thank you to everyone that's been part of any of my critique groups. I'm saying thank you on behalf of our other instructors, Lisa and Peggy. And we'll continue onward. So if you have any suggestions for a type of critique group, right now it's the fiction, nonfiction, advanced fiction, memoir writing, poetry. If there's any other genre that you might want to see, please let us know and we'll take a look at that because, as I said, we're going into this fourth year. It's been a very successful program. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And I thank everyone for participating, and I hope to see you soon. I know I'll see the usual individuals that are part of the ongoing, and I hope to see some of new people in our upcoming groups. And I speak, as I said, on behalf of our other instructors. So thank you.
Thanks, Lori. Somebody, Rose, that's such a nice comment you put. The critique classes have been a driving force in the writing of a romance novel in progress. My classmates are co-authors. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for sharing that. I really think critique groups are just the single best way to really escalate that writing skill, like jump, you know. So we have a poll, excuse me, we have poll results from have you participated in WWA's critique groups? 43% are yes, 37% no, not yet, but I want to, and 20% not at this time. So there you go. A fairly, I guess, what can we say? 80% are either yes or I haven't got around to it yet. Lori, I wondered if we have a question in the chat. Would children's fiction or picture books fit in fiction, in your fiction critique groups, or would that be more of a separate group?
They would fit absolutely if we didn't have enough people. I think ideally we should have the number of writers who are writing the same. Children's books do have a very unique number of elements that are necessary, most like the illustrations and such, and the reading level and things that are not always part of general fiction. So if someone is thinking of doing that, we'll make it happen. If there are a number of you that want to put a children's writing critique group together, let us know and we'll do that. We would like to have 4, 5, or 6, nothing less than 3, and probably not more than 6 or 7. So there are a lot of folks here tonight. If you are interested, let us know and we'll put that together. So thank you.
Wonderful, thanks. All right, next up we have Krista, who manages our book review program. Go ahead, Krista, take it away.
So one of the benefits of being a Wisconsin Writers Association member is that you can have your book reviewed. It doesn't matter if it's not released yet or if it is just released or it was already released. Anything goes on that front. And not only can you get your book reviewed, but of course we love volunteers who love to read, which is I think most of us, and who would like to submit reviews of our member publications. So again, this is a benefit only for members. So it's a kind of an incentive to be part of our special organization. And we have actually a pool of volunteers that's quite significant. And some of, the beauty of it is you can let us know how many books you'd like to review a year, and also what genres you prefer, and also what format you like to read in. So it's really customized to the reviewers. And we send you the book and you get to keep it. So you can build your library by serving the organization, which is also nice. And of course, you can contact me if you are interested in either having your book reviewed or serving as a reviewer. And of course, many of you do both. And so I put the link in the chat to that part of the WWA website so that you can get my email address in case you want to reach out. All the information is there. And this past year in 2025, we had 28 books reviewed. And so when you go to that link, you can actually go and look at all the books that have ever been reviewed through the Wisconsin Writers Association book review program. So I encourage you to check out that link.
Thank you so much.
And I just want to make a note that 28 reviews, and there are probably at least 26 different genres, if you can believe it. So we are all over the map as an organization in terms of genres. It's really quite exciting.
That's great. That is really one of our most popular programs, I think. And so make sure you take advantage of it. All right, next up, we're going to hear from TK Sheffield about her Whispresso Cafe.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Barry. You have just made such a difference in my writing career. I have to say, I taught college writing for a number of years, and I really wanted to write novels, and I didn't know where to go. And like a star in the sky, somehow I met Barry and joined WWA, and here we are 5 novels later. So you never know. So anyway, I also have the wonderful opportunity to host the Whispresso Cafe. That's where books, writers, and Wisconsin meet. And it's open to everyone. This was Lori Shear's idea. We were brainstorming about how to bring in more members and get people, to know WWA. So we have, this Saturday morning coffee or mimosas and books. And it's been a delight. We have broken news on the Whispresso Cafe. And it's open to everyone. You don't have to be a member to attend, which has been really, really fun because I know people have joined from Whispresso. And people are connecting on the show. For example, we had Tara from Freshwater Press, a press up in Sheboygan, meet a romance bookstore owner last month. And this month, we just had it on Saturday. We had the Lake Geneva bookstore owner, Alicia of Lakeside Books. She met a couple new authors on the show. So there's this wonderful connection going on. So if you haven't attended, it's once a month. Ken runs it, and I just show up and talk to people. So
to add into that, Tracy, this last Saturday, while you were busy playing host, I actually connected with Freshwater Press as well and contracted them to be a guest on the podcast.
Oh, wonderful.
She popped up. I'm like, oh, look, a publisher. Let's see if I can get her to come on the podcast. So connections are absolutely being made. It's a much more, for anybody who hasn't shown up there, it's just a much more relaxed and open version of what our podcast is, right? People show up and we just sort of chat and go round robin to other people on the call. So it is a very nice, relaxing Saturday morning activity.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that because that's my goal. And I also I had Alicia from Lakeside Books on, and then I also had invited 2 teachers who are opening a bookstore in Burlington. I said, come on the show. I'll introduce you at first. And everybody, let's learn about it's not even open yet, but it's opening up in Burlington, Wisconsin. So she was able to connect with Alicia from Lakeside, and Alicia was really kind to her and said, hey, if you need any help, reach out. So that's what it's meant to do. And so far it's working. So I just want to say, our guests have been Christina Clancy, our keynote from the conference, Pamela Fullerton. She was a wonderful guest. She's got a book with WWA Press, and that's the very first interview I've ever done from a horse barn. Pamela was in the horse barn and I interviewed her on the show, and it all went great. And I think there was maybe a cameo from a horse, maybe a nicker or something. So it turned out great. I also spoke with Kristen Lenz of the Wisconsin North Woods. You heard it from me first. She's going to take over the the homekeeping world in the Midwest. Kristen Lenz is her name, and she's got White Arrows Home, the shop, and she's just fabulous. And then I had Christy Wopat with her new book. She came on and talked about it with Valerie Beal. And I had Carrie Berg from Thirst Bookstore and also Alicia Bohm from Lakeside Books. And upcoming, we have Heather Doyle Harrison and Sean Stevens from Cozy Mystery Party on Facebook. If you're a mystery author, if you're interested in crime fiction at all, attend in March. I think it's the 21st. Again, it's a Saturday morning talk show, Espresso Cafe, 10 a.m. Central. And you'll learn all about cozy mysteries and how they have fun with authors and takeover parties and all that. They're just delightful. So they're coming up. And then in April, I will have Ken talking about his book. And then in May, we will have Christine DeSmet and Peggy Joke Williams talking about a romance. And then we're off for the summer. But it's been a delightful experience. And I can't thank you enough for being able to just connect people throughout the Midwest with their books, publishers, and readers. So if you haven't attended, I'd love to see you, and hopefully we can do more in the fall.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, that is a relatively new program for us, and it really is such a great idea to have a little live hangout session, just to chill out with others. And TK is just the perfect host for it. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Lisa's going to talk about Creative Wisconsin Magazine.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. Creative Wisconsin has been part of our membership since the very beginning. We've always had a literary magazine for both news articles to showcase our work. And so I publish it we publish it 3 times a year this year. You can see in this slide the dates for the submission for this time. And so I'm just so honored. Again, it's just such a pleasure and a joy to work with all of you. Keep sending those submissions in. If a lot of times if we get too full, we'll ask you if we could save your submission till later. It's a great way to get a publishing credit. I enjoy working with everybody. So if you have any particular questions, the guidelines for Krista's just showing right now are right on the website. And so just really enjoy reading all of you. We're wrapping up production now for the March magazine, so watch for that next month. And again, I'm just so grateful for Ken to give everybody the electronic version. And for those of you who want to buy the print version, we do offer that through Amazon. So as part of my team now, I have Rebecca Swanson helping with the poetry. I am looking for more people. If you're interested in learning more about the magazine, about just working with us, or if you're just really interested in finding out how it goes, I'm always looking for people to help, both with the collection and curation. And if anybody's really excited and wants to be, it really enjoys desktop publishing, we can talk. I'm always looking forward to help for that. Let's see. As far as some other people, we have a huge collection. I said going back to the 1940s of past magazines, and I have scanned in the covers and the table of contents to all of those. But if there's somebody who has some extra time on their hands and would really like to help us digitize that whole collection, that would be a lot of fun too. So let us know about that. So that's me.
Yeah, I don't know what on earth this place would be like without Lisa Lickle. I mean, the way that she keeps this magazine going, it's so beautiful. And you can hear it with the way she describes it, that it's a labor of love. Just in case you missed it, Miss Lisa Peter says, thanks to Lisa for being so easy to work with. And Ann Cordes says, you do a nice job with the magazine. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa. We have
I have an
poll
idea what
results.
it'd look like
Oh, go ahead.
without Lisa, and it's not a world I want to live in.
Amen to that. The Midwest Writers Room podcast, I think, is the next slide, right, Ken?
Yep, that is correct.
All right, so Ken and I just kicked off season 4. We're very excited about that. Go ahead, Ken. What do you have for us?
So yeah, season 4. Every year we've tried to do something to advance the podcast, to just kind of increase the offerings. Whether that's spinning up a YouTube channel, whether that is bringing on different types of guests. this year for 2026, in addition to our regular schedule, right, we do 2 feature-length episodes every month, and then we squeeze in shorter chapter break episodes for people who want to discuss a particular book. In addition to that, we're also going to be slicing in, little nuggets of literary wisdom, if I'm going to quote one of Barry Whiteman's sayings. So during these full-length episodes, sometimes we do a WWA message. Sometimes we're just going to put in a 2-minute video. And to starters, with Rob Grindstaff, giving little tips on, how to improve your writing, right? Something to just add a little bit more, juice to the podcast episode instead of myself or Luella always reading out the same message, something just to help bring it more to life. And then we did also last year take some road trips. And I think we're going to look to continue doing that this year, right? And when and where we can get together and make a road trip and do a remote recording for the podcast, we will look to do that. So we look forward to everybody listening to it. And again, if you have a book that you recently come out that you want to talk about, or you just want to become a feature-length episode guest, podcast@WIWrite is the email to contact us.
Yeah, thank you. And I just kind of want to reiterate that those chapter break episodes in particular, if you do have an individual book, that is why we do those, is so that we can help provide marketing collateral for authors to use on their social media or on their websites. It's a little snippet that is dedicated specifically to the book that they are, trying to promote. So that was my brilliant co-host Ken's idea, which I'm very proud of. So thank you, sir.
I have one good idea a year. I used up my quota for 2025.
Next up is we're going to talk to TK and Lisa a little bit about our WWA Press. This is something that is near and dear, I think, to a lot of us. Is we all know that the the publishing industry it can be a little tricky, and the more small presses, the more independent presses that exist, the better. And so this has been a big part of what we've been working on in the last few years. And Lisa and TK, take it away.
Okay. Do you want me to go first, Lisa, or do you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead. You're on the
okay.
chart, not me.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. We cannot do this without you. Absolutely not. So you're the brains behind the WWA Press Mastermind. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. You see all these wonderful titles here and these beautiful covers, and it's a labor of love. And I just want to talk specifically. I wish I could talk about them all, but I want to talk about 2 right now. The most recent release, or will be out March 3rd, a Wisconsin Harvest of Horror, a spine-tingling anthology from the Horror Writers Wisconsin chapter of 15 original tales. There was a contest, right? And so we did this with the Horror Writers Wisconsin chapter, and then we had a contest last year. So 15 original tales that weaved dread into the fabric of our beloved state, from ghostly whispers echoing across misty lakes to shadowy creatures lurking in the Blue Hills and fog-shrouded shores of Lake Michigan. So check this out. It's coming out on March 3rd. They're going to have an event. I just read an email about something at the Sippy Hippie, which we all need to find out where the Sippy Hippie is and attend. But it's just, it's a wonderful anthology. If you like horror, check it out. And it'll be out March 3rd. And if you can, purchase it, if you can leave a rating for it, if you can tell your friends, if you can share it on social media, we would love that. So
Yeah, I see. Brent Michaels is here. I don't know if anybody else of the other authors are here tonight, but just congratulations to all of you. I think it's a really very fun book. I appreciate y'all being part of it.
Absolutely. And it's, beautiful job on the cover and also the editing, Jim. So I don't know if Jim is here, but I just wanted to say that. And also we have something really, really fun. We have Lisa just announced a romance anthology, a Harvest of Romance. I sense a theme there. Starting February 14th through May 1st. Following the success of the Harvest of Horror, this is a fresh call inviting writers to submit their best love-infused stories, think romance with a Wisconsin twist, and celebrate everything from cozy connections in small-town diners to passionate historical epics set against our rolling farmlands. So think about submitting. We would love to read them. The full guidelines are live, or the editors would love to read them. I just want to say that full guidelines are live on the WWA website. So don't miss your chance to be part of this heart pounding, in the best way, new release. Submissions drop on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I see Rosanna here, but yeah, we have a harvest of something for until 2100. We have lots and lots and lots coming up, so just watch for that. You'll have your opportunity. You see, in April 2, 1,000 Miles of Poetry is coming out with Katrina Surway. Katrina won the Jade Ring a couple of years ago, and I had the pleasure of meeting her in one of Peggy's poetry class, and that was just I was very thrilled to meet her. One thing that I'm going to be doing with one of my book clubs in a library book club is to have is to have her visit my book club, and the library is actually putting together a book club kit for that. So those are other opportunities that all of us can do to help each other get out there with ours. And then I am just so honored to be publishing Peggy's memoir this fall. So please watch for that coming up. And Peggy is just a state treasure. We are just so blessed to have her as part of our group.
Thank you for that. I don't know that I can have anything that I can say that I could add to that. We really are so excited about the lineup of the things that we are publishing, and especially for me, I guess I think for all of us, the anthologies are just great. I just, again, more opportunities to help get you a publishing credit, get you out in the world, and help, get more writers published. It's fun to help make that happen. So thank you, Lisa and TK. Next up is contests. Ken, you want to take the first part?
Yeah, I'll talk a little about the Jade Ring. Kim Soar from Red Oak Writing will be coordinating it again this year. She's not here, so I'm going to do a very poor attempt to stand in her place and convey the correct information. Nobody yell at me when I get it wrong, as I inevitably will. But if we look back, Jade Ring is one of the tent pole contests that WWA has, right? This is, we're coming up on the 76th year of doing this. It has now become a tradition. Last year, it generally runs in the spring. And last year we get about 170 some odd submissions across 3 genres of poetry, nonfiction, and fiction, which is always a very good amount, especially when you consider that there's only, 3 winners in each of those 3 categories, right? So, the competition can be a little bit stiff sometimes just based on the number of submissions that we have. This year, because we are running another contest in the spring, which I think Lisa's going to touch on a bit here, we're actually going to move the Jade Ring submission opening to June 1st. We're going to run the contest from June 1st through August 1st, so that the winners, unlike last year, who had to sit on their announcement, their winnings, for 6 months before they found out where they placed, this year we can put it a little bit closer to the conference, or we can award it again in the conference. So they only have to sit from August through September to October before they figure out where they landed in the winner's circle. So, keep your eyes open in our news briefs and in the email section.
And Lisa, do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, and speaking to that, as far as scheduling goes, we didn't want to overlap with the Jade Ring. We want to do something special to honor Jerry Epps, who passed away last December. So I want to run this contest called Vintage Wisconsin, because Jerry, as you know, was all about supporting Wisconsin and making sure that Wisconsin stories got told. And one of his big things was to make sure that we get these stories out there, to not let our heritage go into the ether, whatever. So my idea is to have this contest in his honor, and it would be Vintage Wisconsin, all the vintage stories we can find, biographies, business memories, family stories, that supper that you have, our supper club story, whatever, just Wisconsin-based stories. And so my question to everybody tonight is, do you want to do that before the Jade Ring or after the Jade Ring? And what the grand prize will be is a full ride to the conference. And so if you've already registered and paid for the conference and you win, you'll get reimbursed. but that's my idea for the contest. So I have two questions for everybody. Do you think you want it before or after? Do you think you would enter such a contest? Do you want it before or after the Jade Ring? And then I'm still thinking about what the fee might be. Do you, a $10 or $20? What's a fair fee? So if you just want to chat about it, let me know. The other part of the contest is another Harvest novel, so another publishing credit. So most, I'm not saying you'll automatically be published in our anthology because of that, but that would be something that we would choose up to 20 stories to be able to publish in another Harvest anthology. So share away. I'd like to hear.
Yeah, go ahead if you have opinions and share them in the chat by all means. Thank you to everybody who's contributing to that. I do have and thank you to Lisa for this idea. It was her idea she really wanted to do something to honor Jerry Apps, and I was really pleased. The board was immediately on board with doing that as well. Like, let's do something. He's been such an important part of the writing community here for a long time.
Yeah, that's good. And Susan, his daughter, agreed to be the judge, so I'm really excited about that.
All right. I have Jade Ring poll results. 9% of us, I haven't done the math to see if that's one person. 9% of us is a Jade Ring winner emeritus, and 52% have entered the contest and not placed yet, and 39% are not yet. So there's hope for us, kids. There's hope for us. All right. Next up, TK is going to share a little bit about our conference highlights from 2025. And then after that, we're going to do the big reveal for 2026.
Hello again, everybody. Look at everybody's smiley faces for all these pictures. Look at how much fun we had in Stevens Point. WWA had its fall conference held October 3rd and 4th, 2025 at the Holiday Inn in Stevens Point Convention Center. We brought together about 150 writers of all levels for an inspiring weekend of professional development and community building. Attendees enjoyed a schedule of workshops, agent pitches, networking opportunities, and a keynote address by Christina Clancy, fostering skill building in craft publishing and the writing life. The event culminated in the Jade Ring Writing Contest Awards Gala, celebrating winners across categories like fiction, nonfiction, and poetry, with prizes including publication in Creative Wisconsin magazine and a one-week residency at Right On Door County. We also had a live you had a recording of the Midwest Writers Room podcast with Chad of the Portage County Library. We also had the Bound to Happen bookstore there and Ross from Cornerstone Press, as well as some other presses. And we also had the Wisconsin Poet Laureate there. So everybody seemed to enjoy it. And once again, we are going to have another one this fall.
Thank you. Big thanks to everybody who attends. It's always such a fun event. A lot of folks really only see each other once a year. And so it really does have that celebratory feeling to it, which is nice. And of course, we could not do it without all of our sponsors. And next up, Lori, do you want to share where we're going in 2026?
Yes. Very exciting. Save the date, October 23rd, 24th. Early arrivals would be that October 22nd. Manitowoc, which just if you don't know, is about 2 hours north of Milwaukee, right on the lake, and about an hour south of Green Bay. That is going to be fantastic. We're told that, and Sarah, hopefully you can also join in here because Sarah lives in the area. There's a library nearby. There are 3 bookstores in the area. There's going to be something for every type of writer, every genre. It is held at the Inn on Maritime Bay. Obviously, we will have all this information for you and details about it, but just save the date and know that this will be another wonderful annual conference for Wisconsin Writers Association. Sarah, a little bit more about Manitowoc?
Yeah, I'd love to share. And actually, good news, it's only 30 minutes south of Green Bay and
Okay, sorry.
an hour north of the northern suburbs, I would say.
Really?
It takes me an hour and 15 minutes to get to the Amtrak station to pick up my son when he comes in on the train. So it's closer than you think. The Manitowoc Two Rivers area is absolutely beautiful. It's right on the Ice Age Trail. And this is, of course, a gorgeous time of year. So we will have lots of opportunities to be inspired by nature. It is, I mean, the Inn on Maritime Bay is right on Lake Michigan. So you step out the back door and it's right there. It's very beautiful. And more good news, there is a new bookstore opening in Two Rivers. It's taking the place of Paper Crane, which closed in December, and it is called Uncorked Book Lounge. So it's a bookstore and a wine bar, and that is opening in April. So we will have a fourth bookstore to visit. So that's great news. Very excited about that.
And then for anybody who's been just paying attention to the chat, Krista has done a fantastic job of just inserting links associated with whatever speaking topic. So if you want to know more about any one of these things we've talked about, scroll through the chat. She's got them all linked right there. Thank you, Krista.
Yeah, thank you, Lori, and to Sarah for giving us a little local flavor on what the conference might look like this fall. It's going to be fun to put this together. You might remember if you were around for last year's conference that it was Christy Wopat's last year as the coordinator, at least for now. She had a sash and everything in one of the earlier pictures that we showed you. And Trisha Quinnis is going to be coordinating this coming year's conference. And so it's exciting to have a new person in charge. And yes, her last rodeo. Thank you, TK. So yeah, well, very excited to see how that plays out. Next up is our last topic of the night, which is I thought it would be helpful now that we've sort of gone through all of our programming and sort of how we attempt to make our mission come alive. I thought I would share a little bit. TK and I are going to talk about a little more about operations and some of the things that we tried as an organization in 2025 and what our plans are for 2026. And so TK Sheffield has been, the board basically created a part-time marketing role to test whether or not this was something that, would be of benefit and what that would look like. And TK was very helpful in stepping into that position, bringing a wealth of marketing and business knowledge to it. And so she's going to talk a little bit about some of those lessons learned from that experiment. And then I'll be sharing a little bit about what we're thinking for 2026.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank you for the opportunity to work for the group for 12 months. I appreciate it, and I learned a lot as always. Anytime you dive into something, you learn a lot. And the most important thing, of course, as you write and you meet people, you understand it is about the books, but it's also about the people you meet. And so we chose in the beginning to just kind of do a one-on-one versus buying ads. Buying ads can be a money pit, and you can spend and spend and spend, and you're not making real connections. And so as we did this throughout the 12 months, we almost doubled our LinkedIn following. And I believe on our Facebook page, we had gained at least 100 followers. And then our Midwest Writers Room podcast gained viewers and listeners. So I feel like it was an overall success, and we didn't have to buy ads. So anyway, a couple of things that I learned. It was build community first and sell second, right? Build the community, help people, make the connections, make sure they're feeling comfortable and they can work on their goals with their writing career, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, poetry, memoir, children's, what have you. And then the other thing, it was the local flavor and the seasonality. So Wisconsin has 4 definite seasons, and it seems like we offer something for everyone at every time. We do a lot as a small group. If you go on our website and just spend some time looking at everything that we offer, we've got resources, we've got downloadable PDFs, we've got critique groups, we offer reviews, we offer a fall conference, we have contests, we have a magazine you can submit to and get a publishing credit. So it really is a ton for a small nonprofit group. And so just learning all of that and trying to spread that word, I hope we can continue. I hope we built something really strong and that other people want to talk to others about the group. Everywhere I go, I made my own handout and I handed it out to people along the, book conferences, book signings, events that I attended. So, and you can do that too, right? I think it's a downloadable PDF on the website, and you can just take it with you and hand it out if you're at a book event. So just remember that, rising tide lifts all the boats. So you can be a vocal person supporting the group and telling others about it. And then finally, consistency beats perfection. I'm certainly not perfect. But if every Monday, if you just post what you're doing, or if you said, hey, I attended, I'm in the fiction writing group and I learned this, that's a way to spread the word about who you are as an author and support others and also support the group. So don't hesitate to post in the Facebook page and say, look, I'm in the writing, the critique group, or I'm attending the conference. Is anybody else attending? Or something that you learned, share it in the Facebook page, or Peggy's poetry prompts every Tuesday morning. I'm not a poet, but I try to respond and I try to do my best, and she's just a delight, and she responds and is so encouraging. I can see why her critique groups sell out every time. So anyway, it's just been a real delight, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, and just keep going, everybody. So I hope that we can keep spreading the good word about WWA.
Nicely said. Yeah,
Can I
thank
just
you.
say one thing about the prompts that I've been posting on Facebook? Uh, I've really enjoyed the responses that people post. But if the prompt gets you going and you want to save your poem or prose piece for a different publication, you don't have to post it there. It's great if you do because they're fun to read and they may get you thinking further, but you have both choices, post or find another spot to publish.
Thank you, Peggy. I get a kick out of those every time I see them. Um, so in terms of 2026, I know we're about a minute after, but we're almost done. 2026 is interesting because, I believe that WWA is kind of at a pivot point where we have reached about as much as we can manage in terms of the variety of programming that we do without an actual, paid part-time executive of some sort. And we are at a board level in the process of trying to raise funds for that role. And so we've applied to the Literary Arts Fund made a big splash. I joked that Ken broke that news on our very own podcast when he announced that new fund was created, and we applied for it. And it sounds like it was written for organizations like us. And then there's another one through the Wisconsin Arts Board that we're going to apply to. Sarah Buren, looking at you, girl, and I are going to talk about and hopefully apply for too. And all of that is sort of in an effort to give us a little more operational room so that we can maybe put in some kind of a part-time role that would be an executive director. That's usually the title that we use in the nonprofit world, is executive director. Because otherwise the board has been managing a lot of operations, and I think we're kind of feeling as a group that we are up against that limit. There is no shortage of cool ideas that we all have and that you all have brought us. Things like a WWA Substack, or the updating and refreshing the website, which is near and dear to my heart, and I'm determined to get done by the end of the year this year. Having more mini conferences around the state, adding more contests to our lineup. All of those things, we've got lots of ideas and not quite enough hands to kind of manage it all, and so that's, I believe, what we're going to see in 2026. We set up a budget that was kind of a status quo. Let's keep doing what we're doing until we find out about these grants, because it would be a significant change in our operations. And then we would, go look and see what we're going to do next. And so even though I'm kind of giving you that flavor, I also want to say, the board is who manages WWA, and they make those decisions as time passes. And I'm making some broad guesses based on what I think will happen to give you an idea of what 2026 will look like. So it's honestly, it'll kind of depend on what happens with the financing plans that we have. So, but the takeaway is that we are continuing to be, stable and intentional, and we're planning ahead, and we're really just thrilled to have you along with us for the ride. So that's all. Thank you very much. You can move it. Yeah, thank you to everybody for spending your evening with us. It was about celebration and also please remember the invitation too. We thrive because of our volunteers, whether you're interested in reading submissions or running programs. And if you've ever given your time, thank you. That includes every speaker for tonight's program as well. Thank you. I'd be lost without you. And thank you so much to all the members who joined. It's really great to have you here, and have a wonderful night.